me cater to you. Let me cater to you. Let me cater to you. I wanna let you know, girl, that you live in I am what you do. I want me to reassure you, my life will be purpose without you. If I want it, I'm gonna ask you. Flying into you, challenge me for the better for you. Let me cater to you.
Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, whenever you're watching this video. Okay? You come over to Deb Chanel's 4-Day Squirrel, and we speak our mind, our perspectives, and we give our opinions when they're not necessarily needed. But we're going to be talking about 3 different people. Monique, a lady by the name of DrewDixon, and what's her name? Taraji Henson. Yes, because all of them were done badly by the industry, the acting industry, I should say. Taraji Henson made a very good point. She's going up in her career, but her bank account and the roles that she gets to play and the cost of the roles are dreadfully going down. So we're going to be doing a little reaction type video where I speak my mind and then it goes back into audio play. Then I might speak my mind again and it goes back into auto play. And then I, really shape the interview up and pick certain things to talk about. And I was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. So we're going to do 3 people in 1 today. And hopefully y'all would like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos. But don't forget to turn on the notification bell button so you'll know when I upload and send out new videos, okay? But we're going to let Monique share her opinions first. And then we're going to move on to Miss Dixon. And then finish it off with Taraji, okay? All right.
8 years ago, I did a movie called Precious. And on that film, I received $50,000, and that was not my argument because that's what I signed up for. We got labeled as difficult because I said one word, and that was no. I said no to Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, and I said no to Lionsgate. Each one of you said to me, Monique, you're not wrong. But none of y'all in real time was strong enough to go publicly and say, we can't throw our sister under the bus. When people said, Monique, do you think calling a boycott was extreme? You damn right. But isn't inequality extreme? So we've got to get to a place where we're unafraid to say it out loud. What Tyler Perry showed me, Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and Lionsgate, when you don't do what we ask you to do, we'll take your livelihood. So for 8 years, my family has suffered and my career has suffered because what I would not allow those entities to do was bully me. And because I didn't allow the bullying to happen, this is now what I sit in. When you allow people to start taking your freedom and your gift and making it become what makes them comfortable, we then lose. 8 years ago, I did a movie called Precious. And on that film, I received $50,000, and that was not my argument because that's what I signed up for. We got labeled as difficult because I said one word, and that was no. I said no to Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, and I said no to Lionsgate. Each one of you said to me, Monique, you're not wrong. But none of y'all in real time was strong enough to go publicly and say, we can't throw our sister under the bus. When people said, Monique, do you think calling a boycott was extreme? You damn right. But isn't inequality extreme? So we've got to get to a place where we're unafraid to say it out loud. What Tyler Perry showed me, Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and Lionsgate, when you don't do what we ask you to do, we'll take your livelihood. So for 8 years, my family has suffered and my career has suffered because what I would not allow those entities to do was bully me. And because I didn't allow the bullying to happen, this is now what I sit in. When you allow people to start taking your freedom and your gift and making it become what makes them comfortable, we then lose. 8 years ago, I did a movie called Precious. And on that, we must share about. And we're coming to y'all today to let you know we're standing with all the unions that are striking right now. And we have a story that we must share of our own with the community. Countess Vaughn and I did a show called The Parkers. The Parkers has now been on air for 24 years, and they're trying to convince us through our ownership of the show that we made absolutely no money.
And it's baffling, being that when you have a conversation with the executive producers and they allude to the fact that the show in its entirety, 5 years, was made for under $70 million. It went out of production in 2004, but by 2009, we see profit participation statements that show the program made over $700 million, but yet was in a close to $1 billion, if not $1 billion deficit.
So what we're asking you, CBS, is can you please treat these two black women fairly? When our brother Dave Chappelle, who ironically had a deal with CBS, said he signed a deal out of desperation and it was a bad deal, they were able to go back and do the right thing. And they made that deal fair, and they paid Dave Chappelle what he rightfully deserved. What we're asking you, CBS, don't pay us any more, but don't pay us any less.
And the reason why we're having this conversation out loud for the community to hear is this. We see the numbers, and they still don't want to pay. What will happen to you when you don't even know the numbers exist?
So we're asking you, and when we say community, we mean community as in the ones that's fighting for equality. Will you stand with us? CBS, will you treat us fairly? We love y'all for real, my babies.
And so many people will be set free. Thank you. The ASA opens the door to a path forward that reflects the reality of a survivor's journey. And not just the reality for survivors like me, whose abusers happen to be famous enough to merit coverage in the New York Times, but for all of us. The state of New York has parted the clouds. In a world full of darkness, this moment is a ray of light. Because of the conviction and integrity of everyone with me on this stage, so many lives will be lived more fully, and so many people will be set free. Thank you.
Okay, y'all. The Post put this out, the New York Post, and they titled it "Adult Victims to Revive Decade-Old Sex," with the A, claims. The state legislators passed a bill that would give all adult victims 1 year to bring lawsuits. Governor Kathy Hochul said she would sign the bill. Okay? And we just go into reading what they wrote up on her. It's been almost a week since I took an early train to Albany to be a part of the watershed signing of the Adult Survivors Act by Kathy Hochul. It was almost surreal, and it was an incredible honor to join her for the signing of the bill. It's been such an excruciating week for all of us, so it's almost hard to remember the profound sense of relief and joy we felt on Tuesday morning. The heartbreaking tragedy that unfolded a few hours later in Texas, which I read about in horror on the train ride back to the city, made this moment optimism feel almost insignificant. I thought about not posting these photos at all, but upon reflection, I believe this moment is far too important to ignore. The Adult Survivors Act will set so many people free, and I believe we must celebrate our wins in order to stay in the fight against injustice. Okay? Our hard-won victory allows us to remain hopeful in spite of such much, helpful in spite of so much darkness. So I'm sharing a few moments from that last Tuesday in Albany, making the culmination of a years-long effort led by brave elected officials, namely the sponsors of the ASA Act, which we like to thank is it Linda Brosino? I'm tearing up her name, and Brad Holloman. Okay, with thanks to Chelsea for bringing it to a vote. Along with activists and tireless survivors, we fought to create a path towards some degree of closure for the adult survivors of Sex A in New York. Okay, so that was a bill strongly put in place for women who had found themselves in one of those sexual A type positions. And this lady, Drew, she's saying a lot of stuff allegedly about L.A. Reid. What do you call it? Who was the other person? Oh, Russell Lee Simmons. And a few others that they didn't name, but they were alluding to. So until their name come out, I ain't gonna mention it either. But she is getting them for the years of abuse that she had to endure in order to work with certain artists or just be a part of the music industry itself. And that was sad to hear that. So almost like she should have blew her whistle back then. But we as human beings, we have to know when it's ready to out somebody or it's time to stand up for ourselves and make a difference. And our difference will probably help the next person in their struggles on someone doing SAX on them and giving them the strength, the hope, and the courage to come on back out and tell us about it. So if anything, that person can pay even in their older days. If it happened in their younger days, they need to get it. They need to get it because, hey, they put Bill Cosby in jail. Still got R. Kelly there singing to people in the jailhouse. I'm like, where do they do that at and why? I mean, is he going to become a minister of music in the jailhouse? Oh, no. But he needs to sit himself down. And they were telling me, or what I read, Russell Simmons live on an island somewhere where there's no jurisdiction where they can bring you back to the States, okay? So, only way they can probably catch him is somebody blow the whistle that he's over here visiting his family members for whatever reason. Then y'all can lock him up then. But I'm pretty sure he's not going to play that card. He's going to stay out of sight, out of mind until everything blows over. Okay, if we go back to the article, she is saying, I'm eternally grateful to Allison Torkos for enlisting me to join this fight. And I was so proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with Donna Hoplinton and Evelyn Yang and both AANDB to pitch to help make the bill a reality. We did it. We are powerful. We don't have to accept toxic what's it called? Masculinity, ape, as in RAPE. Excuse me. Culture is destructive. Gun culture is destructive. All of these manifestations of the white supremacist patriarchy are destructive, and we can do better. We must do better for ourselves and for our children. Okay? We have one commenter said, her name is Blanca 11 Olson. I wish I could give you a big hug. Thank you for being such an important voice to all women who have endured abuse and have not been able to speak out about it. See, that's what they want to do. They want all these women that's in the state of New York to definitely come out, blow the whistle. She stood by herself and had enough courage to bring it to light after all of these years. So, I would jump on the bandwagon while it's hot. But she said L.A. Reid would not promote her music like he should have been. Some of her songs were shelved, never to be seen. He was just like blackballing her from the music industry just because she wouldn't give up no ASS, okay, or some Uzi, start with the P. But, it just is what it is. I'm like, damn, if it's still on your mind and you feel that it's solely unfair, then seek out a lawyer, seek out litigation and see if you have a case. And if you do, ride it until the wheels fall off, okay? Because it's going to make an example. If it didn't do it for you, it's going to be there for the next person that had to endure this. Because, men, they act crazy. And maybe women in power executive positions, they act crazy too. But no one should be receiving favors in the physical form when the other person says, no, we're not going to stand by this. We're not going to have it happen. but he was just not doing anything to promote her music in the industry. And she got tired, and then she just, I guess, left and went to another state. But she is accusing um, Russell Simmons as well as Ella Reed under her convictions of what actually had taken place. Let's go down to the comments section and see if we can see some things. We have Queenie333. She's saying, thank you for being courageous. Okay, M:01 said, grateful that you refuse to back down. Stand your ground. Okay, she got a lot of supporters in this chat section. We got Cynthia Godso said, so proud of you, inspiring and brave and full of grace. Okay. But wasn't Monique talking about that? Wasn't Monique just talking about that ish? And no one stood with her. Only the Lord, her husband, and her family members, more than likely. And probably some friends. And she can probably count them on one hand or fingers. But she was fighting for the equality of getting how you say it, getting purpose and setting down barriers and giving equality for equal rights when it comes to movie making. I mean, I always had that adage that men made more than women from the get-go. But when you've been a seasoned veteran in the business, it's like, okay, y'all can't do me like this. And she has a strong mentality before Sydney even came into her life and had become her husband. Monique wasn't playing with nobody, okay? She wasn't doing it. But after she's been in the business for so long, she has definitely cultivated friendships. If not, I'm just good with my castmate. We do this and that, where they don't leave the set or where they're filming. But right now, she still is patiently waiting to see what, I think it's NBC she was fighting against, what they're going to do as far as giving them some residuals from the Parkers that played on TV. And then went in, what do you call it? The heck, syndication, where it just rolls around and rolls around and rolls around. You get a pay off of that. But that's who she's fighting now. Hopefully it will be in her favor. But to say everybody's jumping on the bandwagon about how much a person should be paid, where was Taraji Henson when Monique was out there saying stuff? Okay, they were scared. They were basically scared to stick their head off with the thought of it being chopped off by a motion picture director or whoever makes the decisions in the acting world. See what I'm saying? So it's not good. Not a good look when everybody else want to jump on the bandwagon because Monique opened up the door. It's no longer closed or slightly closed. She don't open the damn door up, probably tore it down. So everyone can understand what her plight was when, other people are getting paid 60,000, 100 grand, half of a million or a million. It's not that they've been in the business. Well, it's not that they just started the business. It's the ones that who've been there cultivating and trying to do good acting within the film or musical that they're doing, and they want to be paid for. I understand that. If you did good, I mean, she did the Parkers. She has her own show now, and she's definitely been in films. And one recently, but I can't think of it. I think it's on Netflix though. But she still is working. She said she suffered a good amount of years while she had to go through the changes of the industry. But she still took a stand. And honey, before it was all over with, that woman had won her. She had won her a case, and they probably gave her some more money on top of that. But it's a shame that we live in a community or world now globally that they still look at women as, we can use them if we need to. But right now, they don't need to be in our movie unless they're acting like our sex slave, maid, nanny, something to that degree. And Monique was just not having it at all. She's been inspiring, and she's been brave, courageous, and other words that can follow. Because the first person that would say they were sorry was Lee Daniels. I don't know why he came out. Maybe because he saw litigation going to be going on or whatnot. But he said, I'm turning my badge because I don't want them looking through my history. No, 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 no. They don't need to be in my history looking me up very closely. You know what I'm saying? So he was the first person that came out and apologized. I don't think Steve came and gave her a cute apology. And Oprah damn sure didn't give her one. Okay? Which I think, like, okay, if you were the producer of some show, why is it that you feel if this make $1 billion, your actors and actresses can't get at least $1 million out of it? Or the higher end of $1 million. And the only thing I can say is just greed. It's just greed, greed, greed. But let's go back to the comments. They're doing a very good job supporting Monique. But like I said, Lee Daniels publicly gave her an apology, gave her a big fat hug and all this stuff, kisses and everything. And he was done with it because he knew what was being said and done was destructive, and she did not have to be done that way. And you know, he makes direct movies anyway, so he know how pretty much how the budget is gonna flow, because he know he gonna get his cut regardless. But he was just saying what him and Oprah and Tyler Perry did was just to throw daggers at her, but didn't want to help her. And Oprah Winfrey was a producer of the show. And Taraji Henhead got on anybody that could pick up on her subliminal words and messages that Oprah was also a part of her downfall. Not accepting, you know, what she was going to simply be paid for the color purple. And I'm just speaking allegedly. If she was good enough to hire to play the role that you wanted her to, you already seen what she made from other impact films and the gross money that they made from that film. I should be paid accordingly as well. Well, as we know, I don't know, like I always said, Oprah is a white woman in a black woman's body. Okay, let me say that again. Oprah is a white woman in a black person's body because she don't even move like a black person. Okay, she don't even move like a black person. Only black friends I guess she consider herself having is Gail, because Gail been with her for a lifetime. And you know, other people had speculated that, you know, they were birds of a feather that fought together. You know what I mean? But yeah, because I don't even see Stedman with her these days. The little time she's out and about, maybe he just didn't like her taking injection medicine that was meant for diabetic patients, and she using it for weight loss. And one thing I didn't like too much about being on Mounjaro was, I mean, you lost some weight, you know, and I looked at it as water weight and maybe a little inches here, and I'll count it out to be a good weight loss. But slowly, but surely it would get to be in a position where you will be looking skinnier, slimmer, and you can do more stuff because you have the energy to do it. So, but I was just, I wasn't feeling Oprah on that situation. Mostly because of she just didn't act right. Oprah just don't act right. A lot of people don't understand Oprah is something else. And like I said, I don't know, but I see her body language. I see what it's saying. And she's the most arrogant person you want to meet. And I'm pretty sure she told Monique if it's anything that she can do prior to what Monique went and did. She just wanted Oprah's opinion. She wanted Steve's opinion to see if she can go against Lionsgate, which is I guess, the owner of movies or whatnot, or they produce movies or share the space. Hell, I don't know. But, yeah, she called Oprah telling her, don't do it. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. But she didn't give her a reason why not to do it. If she don't go and buck up at Lionsgate, who gonna do it? Because the rest of the people that she wanted to help her, they were being paid well, or they were just living with what they had to make for that. Whatever movie part that they were in, they would have to make that count as their, what do you call it, financial income for that particular movie. And if it was paying 50,000, 80,000, or even 100,000, they felt like they were still getting money. They still were able to keep up the finances when it came to the household income, the bills, the car payments, just different things of that nature. And it happened to be Monique. Now, they're using Monique's name because the same thing that's happened to Monique, and she won, is happening to Taraji. And I'm pretty sure as much dust she kicked up saying it wasn't fair, she started crying and carry on. I think it was a situation where Oprah, if she didn't want it to come out, she had to pay them people, had to pay Taraji what she was asking for, which was a good number. 9 times out of 10, she probably said, I want 200,000 for it. Who knows? But the energy got back in a positive state because Oprah was coming around to Roger Henson. She was being close, holding hands, letting her understand on paper and visually that you're not going to destroy her. She's going to make sure you don't do that. Okay? And put mud on her name when it comes to that. And it was at that particular photo shoot. It had to have been cold that day. But like I said, you remember Taraji, she had opened up on some, I think Gayle King's show. And she was talking about how, what her worth is. And she did this film. She did this, that, and the third. She did this play. And they all said she was an exceptional actress. So if you got somebody saying that about you, you want to be at the top of the food chain to say, I want my take, but I want you to pay me so much that I won't miss money after I start, spending it. Like saying if she was asking 200,000, then she would have got maybe 180,000. Only for the simple reason she had to pay her staff. So I understood that, but I wish Taraji Henson would have been on the bandwagon with Monique when she was going through her trials and tribulations. Because it seemed like the only people she had was the Lord, her family, and her husband. But that's all I got. I ain't got no more. I will see you all in the next video.